8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The President participates in New Year festivities organized by the Nuwara Eliya Meepilimana youth. The Ministry of Health warns that the total number of dengue cases recorded for 2024 has topped the 21,000 mark. The Sri Lankan ambassador to Israel assures that all Sri Lankans living in Israel are safe amidst attacks carried out by Iran. All the government hospitals are ready to take the necessary steps to ensure an efficient and continuous healthcare service during the festive season. The Sri Lanka Navy has intercepted a local multi-day fishing trawler carrying a large haul of narcotics. Charities supporting asylum seekers plan to launch legal challenges against moving people to Rwanda. The President participated in Sinhala and Tamil New Year festivities organized by the Nuwara Eliya Meepilimana Youth Club. The New Year celebrations were held in Meepilimana, Nuwara Eliya, organized by the API Youth Club in partnership with the Nuwara Eliya District Secretariat and the Nuwara Eliya Divisional Secretariat. The New Year festivities were embracing age-old traditions, and it was a tapestry of traditional sports and cultural richness. President Ranil Wickremesinghe arrived at the venue in the morning and observed various New Year competitions taking place. Additionally, he awarded prizes to the winners of the Bakmaha cycling contest held earlier in the day. Interacting warmly with the residents of Meepilimana, the President engaged in cordial discussions during the New Year festivities. Furthermore, during his interaction with the people, President Ranil Wickremesinghe pledged a swift resolution to the issues raised by the local community of Meepilimana. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health says the total number of dengue cases recorded for 2024 has topped the 21,000 mark. According to the Ministry, as of April 13th, a total of 21,028 cases have been reported in 2024, with the highest number being from the Colombo district, which stood at 4,527. The Western Province has recorded 7,547 cases, the highest province-wise, while the month of April has also logged 989 dengue cases. Health officials urge the people to keep their surroundings clean and destroy mosquito breeding places in order to keep dengue at bay, as several parts in Sri Lanka have experienced significant rainfall in the past few days. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
The Sri Lankan ambassador to Israel, Nimal Bandara, has assured that all Sri Lankans living in Israel are safe amidst attacks carried out by Iran. The Sri Lankan ambassador said Israel's Iron Dome system has managed to neutralize shells and missiles attacks, and more than 500 shells and missiles attacks carried out last night were intercepted. Meanwhile, he stated that the flight FZ1625 belonging to the Fly Dubai Airlines operated from Dubai to Tel Aviv last night at 8:10 p.m. However, while travelling from Dubai to Tel Aviv, it was diverted to Dubai as soon as the information about the air attacks came to light. The Sri Lankan ambassador also stated that there were Sri Lankans on the flight who were on the way to Israel, and that information about them is being disclosed. The Sri Lankan ambassador in Israel also said flights travelling through Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq and Israel bypass the region and return to many countries in Europe via other routes due to escalating conflict. The Health Minister Ramesh Patrana has instructed all the government hospitals to take the necessary steps to ensure an efficient and continuous healthcare service during the festive season. The Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Dr. Palitha Mahipala, said accidents and incidents of food poisoning and non-communicable diseases are usually on the rise during the festive season. He said all the steps have been taken to provide prompt services to patients who are admitted to hospitals due to accidents and incidents of food poisoning and non-communicable diseases. He also said an ambulance service is also on standby 24 hours to provide services in cases of emergency. The Sri Lanka Navy has intercepted a local multi-day fishing trawler carrying a large haul of narcotics with 6 suspects aboard about 133 nautical miles off Dondra in the southern area of Sri Lanka. The commander of the Navy, Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira, arrived at the Gala harbour to inspect the massive consignment of narcotics taken into custody in this operation. During the operation, the Navy seized another local one-day fishing trawler with 4 suspects believed to have been there to fetch the consignment of narcotics mid-sea. Meanwhile, the Narcotics Control Unit of the Sri Lanka Customs has arrested a foreign national, a woman, at the arrivals terminal of the Bandaranaike International Airport for attempting to smuggle cocaine capsules by ingesting them. The arrested 38-year-old Madagascan woman is suspected to have swallowed about 75 cocaine capsules with an estimated street value of around 35 million rupees.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The rapid spread of tinea dermatophyte fungal infections, mainly across Sri Lanka, is largely attributed to the misuse of medications and the emergence of antifungal drug resistance. Dr. Hema Veerakone, the Chief Medical Officer of the Outpatient Department at the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital, says the prevalence of tinea infections continue to rise both in the Anuradhapura district and countrywide. Dr. Veerakone urges the public to seek medical attention promptly if they notice any symptoms such as fungal spots on the skin. There are primarily 2 types of fungal infections, Candida and tinea. The doctor highlights that the misuse of medications, including the unauthorized use of oral medications and steroid-mixed antifungal nasal sprays purchased over the counter, significantly contributes to the spread of the disease.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the government urges the public to exercise caution and minimize road accidents during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year season. The Ministry of Health says that a significant number of accidents take place during this festive period and approximately 36% are attributed to the use of fireworks. Dr. Sajit Ranatunga, consultant surgeon at the National Hospital of Sri Lanka, says an alarming number of fatal accidents occur outside of the expressways, with approximately 10 deaths occurring daily as a result. He urges the public to exercise caution and take proactive measures to mitigate road accidents.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, charities supporting asylum seekers plan to launch legal challenges against moving people to Rwanda. The UNICEF warns the war will have long-term consequences for the physical health, growth and mental well-being of Gaza's children. Germany is preparing to provide Ukraine with another Patriot air defense system unit. Charities supporting asylum seekers plan to launch legal challenges as quickly as possible against moving people to Rwanda after a new law passes in the coming days. Legislation to declare Rwanda safe is likely to pass its final parliamentary hurdles this week. Downing Street hopes this will allow the first flights to take off before the end of spring. Ministers hope to strike similar removal deals with other countries. But Charity Care for Calais, which helped block flights to Rwanda last year, said it had recruited hundreds of volunteers to identify people who are said to be removed to the East Central African country. The government is eager to remove some asylum seekers to Rwanda before the general election as part of its strategy to stop small boats crossing the English Channel. The legislation, which will pass in Parliament soon, declares Rwanda a safe country after the Supreme Court blocked an earlier plan in November. The UNICEF warns of the war's repercussions on the physical health, growth and mental well-being of Gaza's children in the long term. Tess Ingram, communications specialist at the UNICEF currently in the city of Rafah in southern Gaza, states that Gaza's children are trapped in ongoing conflict and successive shocks without any safe haven to turn to. She emphasizes that the opportunity still exists to avert famine in Gaza if the sector is flooded with aid, but humanitarian access, especially to the north, remains severely restricted. She witnesses this firsthand when the car she was travelling in with her and her colleagues came under fire while waiting for permission to deliver aid to the area. She added that the situation in Gaza is tragic, especially when you see someone suffering from malnutrition due to food production disruptions and restrictions on aid access to that area. She states that the situation in the region necessitates the opening of the crossing for several reasons. Germany is preparing to provide Ukraine with another Patriot air defense system unit amid intensifying Russian missile attacks on Ukrainian energy infrastructure. The German government announced the newer systems on Saturday, saying Russian terror against Ukrainian cities and the country's infrastructure is causing immeasurable suffering. So far, Germany has supplied 2 units of the weapon. It said they will be sent immediately. President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz during their phone talks. The Ukrainian presidential office quoted Zelensky, saying that it was a real manifestation of support for Ukraine at a critical time. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian military commander-in-chief Alexander Syrsky reports. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. Charities supporting the asylum seekers plan to launch legal challenges against moving the people to Rwanda. The UNICEF warns that the war will have long-term consequences for the physical health and the growth and mental well-being of Gaza's children. Germany is preparing to provide Ukraine with another Patriot air defense system unit. That was World News, and now in development news. The government plans to promote Hinguragoda and the Hinguragoda Airport to be Sri Lanka's 6th international airport. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Aviation will invest several billions on this project. The government aims to transform this centrally located airport into an international airport to bolster the country's economy and tourism sector. The ministry said the first phase of development will focus on extending the existing 2,287-meter long and 46-meter wide runway to 2,500 meters to facilitate the runway to accommodate Airbus A320 and Boeing B737 aircraft. The construction is to be undertaken by the Sri Lanka Air Force. As part of this initiative, the 2024 budget includes a financial allocation of 2 billion rupees to commence initial construction and development activities. The Minister of Port, Shipping and Aviation, Nimal Silpa de Silva, conducted an inspection of the airport recently to conduct a feasibility study to guide the development efforts.
Moving on with sports news.
Indian wrestler Anju and Harshita put up a dominant show to reach the gold medal bouts in their respective categories at the Asian Wrestling Championships. Competing in a highly competitive 53-kilo weight class category, Anju logged back-to-back wins by technical superiority against the Philippines' Lairos Gavales and Sri Lanka player Nethmia Hinsa Fernando. Fighting was highly appreciated by the commentators, and she was just 2 marks behind the bronze medalist. The 18-year prodigy from the Putlam district in the northwestern province also secured the bronze medal at the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games.
Go ekatiyana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship ekak menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, in collaboration with the Colombo Stock Exchange, hosted several impactful teacher training programs for teachers. The module was conducted for the teachers of the established 100 capital market clubs across the country. The program, named Capital Market Club Program, is a strategic initiative designed in collaboration with the Presidential Secretariat and the Ministry of Education as well, aimed at fostering financial literacy throughout the education system of Sri Lanka. The teachers were given a complete workshop educating them on the regulatory environment, the stock market, the range of available capital market products as well as unit trusts, the Securities and Exchange Commission said.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, the Ministry of Finance has clarified that the decision by the government permitting the import of 1,000 vehicles for the tourism sector, according the government, will allow importing brand new vehicles or second-hand vehicles no older than 1 year. It further notes that this limited relaxation of the import ban on vehicles will not be applied to electric and hybrid vehicles as speculated. The Ministry of Finance, Department of Trade and Investment Policies revealed that contrary to speculation, the cabinet decision to allow the importation of 1,000 vehicles for the tourism sector did not include a requirement stipulating that only second-hand vehicles could be imported. And now for the weather report. Showers or thunder showers and severe lightning will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamulla, southern, central, northwestern and Nuva provinces and in the Ampara and Batticaloa districts. Showers are likely in the eastern province during the morning too. Several spells of light showers may occur elsewhere off the island. Fairly heavy showers above 100 mm are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragamulla provinces and in the Gala, Mathura and Ampara districts. On the apparent northward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during the 5th to the 15th of April this year. That was with the report. And now the headlines of this news broadcast. The President participates in New Year festivities organized by the Nuwara Elia Meepilimana youth. The Ministry of Health warns the total number of dengue cases recorded for 2024 has topped the 21,000 mark. The Sri Lankan ambassador to Israel assures that all Sri Lankans living in Israel are safe amidst the attacks carried out by Iran. All the government hospitals are ready to take the necessary steps to ensure an efficient and continuous healthcare service during the festive season. The Sri Lanka Navy has intercepted a local multi-day fishing trawler carrying a large haul of narcotics. Charities supporting asylum seekers plan to launch legal challenges against moving people to Rwanda. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka on a Sunday evening.